So Xbox has rolled out its Xbox app for cloud gaming on Amazon Fire TV sticks. So in this video, we're going to take a look at a quick unboxing, some setup, and looking at a few games running as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, starting with the unboxing. Alright, so we'll keep this part pretty quick, but you do need a 2023 4K TV stick or 4K Max TV stick currently to use the Xbox app. I have two 4K Maxes in my house, but they're 2022 models and they wouldn't work, so I ran out and grabbed this 4K model to test this out on. So you will need one of those two models. The older ones won't work. Of course, once you get this opened up, you're going to have a little guide for those of you not familiar with hooking up the Fire TV. It'll easily show you what you need to do to hook that up and get that going there. Now, of course, inside we're going to have our remote here, which I find interesting. It has the DirecTV and Peacock buttons now, and my older remote has Hulu and Disney Plus. So they made some changes there, but other than that, the remote is largely the same here. Now, the next thing we have is our wire. This is going to be our power wire from our power adapter that we're going to need to plug in to power the stick. So you're going to need an open outlet. I did in the past have TV USBs work from time to time, but these newer sticks do take more power, and that doesn't often work as well. So we have our little adapter here. If you can't stick this the stick right into your TV, you can use that. And then of course we have the Fire TV stick itself here for streaming everything. So we'll be good to go there. But yeah, pretty simple. Now at the bottom of your carton, you're actually going to find two more parts down here. So you've got your adapter for plugging in and your two batteries for your remote. So we've got those there, and then our power adapter here for that wire to power up the Fire TV. So we're going to go ahead and go out to the living room, get this thing hooked up to the LG TV, and we'll get it set up and take a look at some games running. All right, so moving out here to the living room on the TV, I wasn't able to get this to work on my capture card, so this is the only way I was able to do this, but you're going to go through your typical setup here. So you're going to select your language, your network for internet, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be able to do this through a QR code with the app or with the remote, whichever way you choose to do there to get set up. There's, of course, going to be some updates to do. I had to do like 3 updates and 3 restarts before I finally got past that point, but once you do, it'll do its final restart, and it'll come back into the final setup where you can sign into an account, which I'm going to do, or create one if you don't already have one, because you will, of course, need an Amazon account to use your Fire TV. It'll do a quick little setup for the remote after that, and then that's pretty much it. You're going to be good to go after that. It's going to load into a Luna page, most likely Amazon's cloud gaming. We can go past that. I've used that a good bit in the past, but for now, we're going to focus on Xbox. So now I'm into this 4K TV stick for the first time and logged in, and I'm ready to get set up for streaming Xbox Cloud Gaming. So I'm going to go ahead and download the Xbox app. I've gone and searched in here for Xbox, and the new app is showing up right here in the App Store. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and we'll get that downloaded and ready to go. It's not going to take very long to do, and I've already added it to my account previously, but it's ready to go here. Go OK, and then it'll finish its install. That's a pretty quick process. And then once we have that, before we jump into going into the app, we'll actually go in and do the connection for my Xbox controller. You're going to need a Bluetooth controller in order to do this. It doesn't have to be an Xbox controller, but a compatible Bluetooth controller with the Fire TV. So we go into our settings here. We're going to click Game Controllers, Add New Game Controller, and I'm going to hold down the Bluetooth connection button on my Xbox controller. You'll see it's picking up there on the Fire TV. I'll click on that with the remote, and then they'll get linked up there. And now my Xbox controller will work to navigate my Fire TV and play the games and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go into my apps. We're ready to open up the Xbox app. We'll come down here to the bottom, and Xbox, and we'll go ahead and get that launched. Your first launch in, you're going to need to sign in or sign up. You will, of course, need Game Pass Ultimate, which includes cloud, in order to play this. So I believe that's still the $15 a month tier for that. I'm signed in. I already have Ultimate, so everything's going to load in here from my Xbox account. So the ability to jump back into games I was already playing, get into all of my settings, and browse all the games available here on Xbox Cloud Gaming. And then, of course, you can use your Xbox controller, just like all the other menus and stuff, to navigate and get through all of that and find your games and launch them and everything there. So, yeah, that part works pretty well. A little stuttery and janky on the UI, and game performance was a little all over. So we'll talk about that. If you hit your Xbox guide button, you will get your typical guide over here on the left-hand side. A little different from on the console, but still a lot of the features and settings that you would be looking for to kind of control your Xbox account. You can even change your gamer tag and that type of stuff there. Quit game, go into your friends, start parties, do messages, and into all of your profile stuff. So a lot of stuff you would want from your Xbox available right there with Xbox Cloud Gaming and the remote and everything here with Fire TV. Now, as far as gaming, it was kind of all over the place for me. I've played a lot of cloud gaming. I still do all the time. And Xbox Cloud Gaming is one I've used a lot as well, and it works great on my PCs, my Steam Deck, my ROG Ally. I typically get a really good experience these days, considering it's cloud, on those devices. But here on this Fire TV stick, I was having some trouble with some of the games and not with others. Like Forza here, which I would usually play, was giving me all kinds of issues, and I just couldn't get it straightened out. But maybe if I try this on another day, being cloud, it'll work better. Now, jumping into something like Gears, though, that I have been playing through again, and I've pretty much exclusively been playing on cloud just because it's easier for me to hop from all of my devices or whichever PC I'm on in the house. And this has been a good experience on cloud, and it's the same thing here for me on the Fire TV stick. Fortunately, this was much better than Horizon. Me not being able to get that one to work very well, but for Gears here, I really didn't run into any problems. Played it for like 20-30 minutes. I jumped into Starfield and just ran around for a little bit. I didn't do a lot. There's a little stream stutter in it, but for the most part, just kind of hopping around and moving the camera around, running. It was fine. There's a little input latency that's going to get me when I'm shooting, but again, I'm a cloud gamer as well, so I kind of am used to that. I can adjust to that when I'm not playing locally. But this looked and felt pretty good, a lot like Gears. I really didn't have trouble here. Played around with that for about 20-30 minutes as well. Now, Hellblade 2, I didn't get into a lot. I just kind of walked around one of the areas. I wanted to see what the 1080p cap 60 would look like on this game, and I can definitely see the 1080p a bit more in person here. It probably doesn't show up on the camera here, but it wasn't the cleanest image. However, it was pretty good as far as not having a lot of stutter and that type of thing. And as far as just the way the controls felt, I don't think I would have too much trouble in the battles or anything, but it depends on what happens down the road with that. One of the games that impressed me the most on here was actually MLB The Show. This is one I love to use to test input latency, like hitting and like how accurate, because you do got to be pretty on the money with these, and I was surprised as soon as I hopped in. The game felt great. It looked good, didn't seem like the bitrate was too low, no real stutters or issues with it or pixelation that was popping up, and input latency felt really good for this one, pretty spot on. I mean, I played this one, I wound up stopping the recording and playing this for a good hour after I was done last night recording this, and yeah, I didn't run into any problems the entire hour. Felt great, no problems hitting, pitching, all of that. So this one, for picture quality and input latency and everything, actually impressed me more than any of the other games. But there's so much more to test on here, and being cloud, everyone's going to get a different experience from your home network. How far are you from the Xbox servers? Which games are getting hit the most online, or maybe overloading the servers? There's so many things, and it can change from day to day. I love cloud gaming. It has a lot of good uses, but I do know we have a ways to go, and Xbox has a ways to go to get this where a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy it. But it is good for a lot of certain type of games. It's not good for competitive gaming for me, but for a lot of games, it works really well. And I think this is a neat way for Microsoft to expand to more people and offer Xbox in more places, which is their plan anyway. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, we really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.